Welcome again, folks, and good evening to Roswell's Park for Friday night baseball between your Moose Jaw Miller Express and the Saskatoon Berries, sponsored by RBCDS. A reminder to pick up your programs at the Minute Muffler Break and Wheel Ticket window to play RBC Royal Bank Bingo and win other great prizes courtesy of our sponsors. And now it's time for the Stringham Law starting lineups. Tonight, your baseball umpiring crew. Behind the plate, Huck Cray. And on the bases, we have Brent Chadwick and Sean Weatherall. The starting lineup for the Saskatoon Berries. Leading off at DH, number 11, Nathan Houston. Batting second from in left field, number 28, Stinson. Batting third in right field, number 34, Ethan Murdoch. Batting fourth at first base, number 27, Gavin Panks. Batting fifth at second, number 10, Gael Salinas. Batting sixth at third base, number 5, Josh Henson. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 2, Brock Laird. Batting eighth, number 14, the catcher, Aiden Marin. And batting ninth, your center fielder, number 3, Nash Nichols. Starting on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries, number 36, Jackson Fox. And now it's time for the starting lineup here at Moose Jaw Miller Express. Leading off the shortstop, number 22, Thomas Soto. Batting second in center field, number 4, Chris Franks. Batting third, your DH, number 27, William Edwards. Batting cleanup at first base, number 18, Karen Plummer. Batting fifth in that field, number 10, Jimmy Kurtz. Batting sixth in right field, number 6, Jacob Mraz. Batting seventh, your catcher, number 8, Gary Swan. Batting eighth at third base, number 11, Michael Rado. And batting ninth at second base, number 13, Ben Wallachek. And tonight's starting pitcher for your Moose Jaw Miller Express, number 17, Weston Walls. At this time, the Moose Jaw Miller Express would like to recognize a representative from the Saskatchewan Dragoons who is hoisting the Canadian flag at home plate. We now ask that you rise or remove your headwear if possible for the singing of our national anthem by Abby Hunt.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you very much, Abby Hunt, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw for Friday night Western Canadian Baseball League action here on FloCollege. I'm your host, voice of the Millers, Rod Peterson, joined by Jenna Moore in the broadcast booth as we get set to bring you the play-by-play description of this East Division clash between the 8-3 first place Saskatoon Berries and the 5-4 second place Moose Jaw Miller Express. Lights on already on a cloudy night here in the Band City. And let's take a look at the batting order for the visiting Saskatoon Berries, who are led off by the designated hitter out of Melville, number 11, Nathan Houston. Batting second, the left fielder, number 28, Nick Stinson. Batting third, the right fielder, number 34, Ethan Murdoch. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 27, Gavin Panks. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 10, Gail Salinas. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 5, Josh Henson. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 2, Brock Laird. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 14, Aiden Marion. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Nash Nichols. Their starting pitcher tonight is number 36, Jackson Fox. And the Saskatoon Berries are under the guidance of their longtime skipper, or at least for their 3 years in existence, Joe Carnahan. For the Millers, who haven't played since Tuesday's 16-9 win here versus Swift Current, which upped their record to above 500 for the first time since opening weekend. Weston Walls is your starting pitcher today, the hard-throwing righty from Terrell, Texas. Behind home plate tonight is number 8, Gary Swan. The regular catcher, or more used catcher, Garen Plummer, has moved to first base tonight. At second base, Ben Wallachek. At third, Michael Rago. The shortstop is Thomas Soto. The left fielder is Jimmy Kurtz. The center fielder tonight is Chris Franks, and the right fielder is Jacob Mraz. Will Edwards will perform the DH role here tonight. Good crowd for a chilly night here in Moose Jaw. 14 degrees Celsius, that's 57 Fahrenheit for our U.S. friends watching on FloCollege Baseball. And the wind is northwest at 28. Again, Weston Walls versus Jackson Fox is the pitching matchup here tonight as we get ready for game number 10 of the Millers schedule. And it is Miller time here at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw, as the one-time Miller and former All-Star second baseman with Moose Jaw, Nathan Houston, comes to the plate to lead it off in the top of the first inning here for the visiting Saskatoon Berries. Your umpires, by the way, Huck Craig is behind home plate. On the bases, Brent Cheese Chadwick, bless you, Jenna, and Sean Wetherill. Okay, we're ready for a 7:04 first pitch from Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Weston Walls facing Nathan Houston. And first pitch swinging, a grounder down to third. It sneaks past Michael Rago, and Nathan Houston is aboard with a leadoff single here tonight at Roswell's Park. Those guys were teammates on that Miller team in 2024, which won the East Division pennant and went all the way to the league final before losing a heartbreaker in the third and deciding game at Okotoks in the league championship final. Weston Walls and Nathan Houston were teammates there. Nick Stinson comes to the plate for the Berries. The left fielder, Ethan Murdoch, is on deck. And here's a roller towards second. Up with that is Wallachek. Steps on the bag. Throw over to first, and a double play.
That brings up to the plate number 34, Ethan Murdoch.
Just like that, 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Nick Stinson grounds out to the second baseman, hits into a double play. Nathan Houston on the force out. And now Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, comes to the plate for Saskatoon with 2 away here in the top of the first inning. This pitch from Walls, low and away for ball 1. Ethan Murdoch, another veteran Berry. This one a grounder towards second. Fielded on a hop by Wallachek. Throw cross body in time, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning here at Roswell's Park. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. Scoreless in Moose Jaw. Soto, Franks, and Edwards due up for the Millers. You're watching Friday night WCBL baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the first inning at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Due up for the hometown Millers. 5-4 entering the game, second place in the Eastern Division. Thomas Soto will lead it off. The shortstop wears number 22, batting second. The left center fielder tonight, number 4, Chris Franks. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 27, Will Edwards. Batting cleanup, tonight's first baseman, number 18, Garen Plummer. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 10, Jimmy Kurtz. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 6, Jacob Mraz. Batting seventh, the catcher, Gary Swan. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 8, Michael Rago. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Ben Wallachek. We'll get to the Berries starters defensively in a moment. It's Thomas Soto against Jackson Fox to lead things off here in this bottom of the first inning. First pitch outside. Fastball from Fox. 1-0. He's a Saskatoon kid who plays at Cloud County Community College. Jackson Fox, the starting pitcher tonight for the Saskatoon Berries. We'll get to some stats here in a second. Fox is the starting pitcher. The catcher is Aiden Marion. The first baseman, Gavin Panks. The second baseman is Gail Salinas. Swing and a miss from Soto. 2-1 the count. The third baseman, Josh Henson. The shortstop, Brock Laird. The left fielder is Nick Stinson. The center fielder, Nash Nichols. And the right fielder, Ethan Murdoch. This one in for strike 2 called, and it is a 2-2 count on Thomas Soto, the perennial all-star out of Round Rock, Texas. And this one low in the dirt. Full count on Thomas. Batting .364 on the season is Thomas coming into the ball game. His 5 RBIs are third most on the club. This one fouled off the newly placed netting down the third base foul line. 3-2 the count here on Thomas Soto. Chris Franks on deck, followed by Will Edwards. It was a 3-up, 3-down inning. Most fans hadn't even settled into their seats yet. Oh, strike 3 called. And Thomas Soto goes down looking for one away here in the bottom of the first inning. And Chris Franks, the center fielder, will come to the plate for Moose Jaw, number 4, with Will Edwards on deck. Chris Franks out of Wooster, Ohio. Batting a lofty .419, Chris Franks. That leads the team. And 2 home runs also leads the team. And they've come in big fashion. The big home opener victory 2 Fridays ago against the Regina Red Sox. What a night that was. The solo walk-off shot in the bottom of the 9th inning. And then he homered here Tuesday in that big 16-9 victory over the Weyburn Beavers. Against Swift Current. Big, I say, because it put the Millers above 500 and into second place. The Millers have not played since. Been rained out in Swift Current and rained out in Weyburn, and there will be a doubleheader here tomorrow against those same Weyburn Beavers. 6 o'clock first pitch. High and outside with this one, 2-1 on Chris Franks. As you can see from our home plate camera, it is a good crowd here tonight at Roswell's Park. A lot of Saskatoon fans in attendance. This one, Franks gets his bat on it. Shallow center field. Coming in to make the catch is Nichols for 2 away. Chris Franks flies out to the center fielder. And that'll bring to the plate the designated hitter, number 27, William Edwards, with Garen Plummer on deck. Will Edwards still looking to regain his all-star form from last season, batting .278. And he will. Strike 1 on Will, the 6'3" Australian who comes to the Millers from the University of Sioux Falls. Outside for ball 1, 1-1. .14 degrees Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit here in the ballpark. Swing and a miss from Will, 1-1. and a northwest wind at 28. So everybody is bundled up here in historic Ross Wells Park. Strike 3 call, and Will Edwards goes down looking, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Millers. We'll go to the second. Scoreless in Canada's most notorious city, Gavin Panks, Gail Salinas, and Josh Henson due up for the Berries. You're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege. Top of the second inning at Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw. Scoreless, Millers and the visiting Saskatoon Berries. Gavin Panks, the first baseman, will lead things off, the number 4 hitter for the Saskatoon Berries. Gail Salinas and Josh Henson due up for the first place Berries. Weston Walls, after a 3-up, 3-down inning, to open the first, takes this first pitch in the dirt for 1-0. Weston Walls setting a Millers strikeout record last season. The lanky right. Oh, here's a liner just past Weston Walls into center field, and Gavin Panks is aboard with a leadoff single.
Number 10, Gael Salinas. He's our beer batter tonight, folks. And he's
Second
our
hit
senior
for the Berries tonight,
$1.
and Gail Salinas comes to the plate here for the Saskatoon Berries. Josh Henson is on deck. Some junk from Weston on that one, got away from him out inside and high for ball 1, 1-0. Fourth start for Weston, by the way, this season. A minuscule 1.20 ERA. He's worked 15 innings combined on the season. Fastball outside for ball 3, 3-0 the count here on Gail Salinas, the second baseman. One and 0 is Wall's record coming into the ball game tonight. And strike one called off the outside edge. 3-1 the count on Gail Salinas. Comes to the Berries out of Rogers, Arkansas. Plays collegiately at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. This one hit in the air to right. Back for it is Mraz, and he'll make the catch for one away. Gail Salinas flies out to the right fielder. Back to first goes Gavin Panks. And that'll bring to the plate the third baseman, number 5, Josh Henson, with Brock Laird on deck for the visiting Saskatoon Berries. Nice crowd filling in for a coolish night here in the Band City. Many wearing winter wear on the coldest night of the summer so far. And here is a one hopper to short. Soto up with that. Throw over to first in time for 2 away. Josh Henson grounds out to the shortstop. And that makes 2 away here for the Saskatoon Berries in the top of the second inning. And Brock Laird comes to the plate here for the visitors, the shortstop who wears number 2. Aiden Marion is on deck. Had a good visit prior to the game with Ray Beck, the grandfather of former Berries star Carter Beck. And we'll tell you a little more about that situation as Weston steps off here. And then coming out for a visit, the catcher Gary Swan. Reed Beck is in the bullpen. The cousin of Carter Beck. It is a baseball family if there ever was one. And met Reed Beck prior to game time here tonight. Carter Beck starred the last 2 seasons, was the MVP of the 2024 WCBL All-Star Game in Okotoks, which we had the great fortune to be at. Carter now getting ready for the 2026 MLB Draft. And according to his grandfather Ray, projected to go in the 2nd round in mid-July. This one skied into shallow center field. Thomas Soto weighs everybody off and makes the catch. And that will retire the side. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Millers and Berries scoreless. Plummer, Kurtz, and Mraz are due up for Moose Jaw. We'll be right back. You're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Millers Baseball brought to you in part by Boston Pizza, Main and Thatcher. Had lunch there today. Anybody want to guess what I had? 54 Dental and Canadian Tire. Always a favorite of Millers fans, Boston Pizza, Main and Thatcher. And big sponsors of Moose Jaw's Ball Club. Garen Plummer, Jimmy Kurtz, and Jacob Mraz are due up for the Millers. CFL Hall of Famer and former Los Angeles Raider Dan Rashovich was in town, joining me on my television show, and we headed over to BP's for lunch. Had a great time. Everybody was happy to see old Raz there, a football legend in the province. Jackson Fox on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries. Garen Plummer will lead it off here in the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Moose Jaw Millers in this scoreless ball game. Second meeting of the year between these two clubs. They met a week ago yesterday up in Saskatoon, June 4th. The Berries coming off with a 7-4 victory that night after a 5-run first. This one in the dirt from Fox. 2-0 is the count. This one caught the outside edge for strike one called. 2-1 the count here. Jackson Fox making his 4th start of the season. Here's a grounder towards short. Fielded on one hop by the shortstop Laird. Throw over is in time for one away. Garen Plummer grounds out to the shortstop. And that'll bring to the plate the first-year Miller and left fielder number 10, Jimmy Kurtz, out of Buena, New Jersey. By the way, I do want to pass along a congratulations to our Millers Tim Hortons trivia winner. from the other night. We did have a lot of correct answers, so I appreciate everybody for playing, and you can always write in with your answers to Miller's Trivia, presented by Tim Hortons and The Rod Peterson Show, by tweeting me at Rod Peterson. Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder, is at the plate. Jeremy Dearborn was the winner. Freeborn. Jeremy Freeborn is the winner. Here is a grounder towards second. And up with that, the second baseman, Salinas, for 2 away. Jeremy Freeborn is the brother of Miller's pitching coach, Jeff Freeborn. And Jenna's question was, name the 3 Millers that are 6'5" or taller. And Jeremy named them all. He was the first one through on Twitter to do it. So he won a $10 gift card from Tim Hortons, and I gave it to his brother. So Jeremy, ask him about it. Here's another roller towards second. That'll get by the second baseman, Salinas, and a base hit for Jacob Mraz, the right fielder. And that is the first hit of the night for the Moose Jaw Millers. And that'll bring to the plate Gary Swan. The catcher with Michael Rago on deck. 2 away here in the bottom of the second, and now a runner on first. As the 5'8", 180-pound Gary Swan comes to the plate for the Millers and takes the first pitch at the letters for ball 1. Gary Swan from Peoria, Arizona, and plays at Bethany Lutheran College. He's a teammate of Nathan Pigio there. This one inside for ball 2, 2-0. This is Daryl Pigio's birthday today.
It is. As is Nate Vincent's.
Happy birthday to the president, Daryl Pigio, and also to the most popular Miller in club history, Nate Mensick. I did see his mom's post on Facebook today, by the way, so yes. Great people still following the Millers down in Pleasantdale, Nebraska. Three and 1 the count here on Gary Swan, the catcher. Michael Rago is on deck. Busy night in the WCBL, as they all are. Weyburn Beavers visiting the Regina Red Sox tonight. Swift Current at Okotoks. A doubleheader at Medicine Hat with Energy City in town. Gary Swan draws the walk. And now 2 on here in the bottom of the second inning. Michael Rago, the third baseman, will come to the plate for Moose Jaw. And just to finish off the out-of-town scoreboard, Lethbridge at Fort McMurray tonight, and Sylvan Lake is at Brooks. Well, they know their baseball, and they love their baseball here in Moose Jaw. They knew this was a battle of division leaders tonight. The first place Berries at the second place Millers, and it's been a defensive battle so far. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second. But the Millers have 2 on and 2 out with Michael Rago, the third baseman, at the plate. Fastball right down the pipe for strike 1 called. 0-1 here on Rago. He comes to the Millers out of Bensonville, Illinois. Plays at St. Ambrose University. This one low for ball 1, 1-1. One and 2 the count on Rago. Batting .348 on the season. He's appeared in all 9 Millers games. Takes ball 2, 2-2 the count on Rago, the third baseman. Scored 6 runs, registered 8 hits, 7 RBI. Very productive at the plate as Michael Rago fouls this one off. 2-2 the count. Foul ball for Elk Ridge Glass. We know Glass. And Rago has struck out twice on the season. It's his first at bat here tonight in the bottom of the second inning with 2 on and 2 out. Jackson Fox looks in for the side. And this one fouled straight back and out of play. 2-2.
We know Glass. Call 631-0883.
Part of that chat with Barry's relief pitcher Reed Beck's grandfather Ray was that they're refurbishing the ballpark in Lang, Saskatchewan. That's the nerve center of the whole Beck clan. Fastball, strike 3 called. And down goes Michael Rago looking to end the inning. Scoreless through 2 at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. And we'll go to the third with Marion, Nichols, and Houston due up for the Berries. You're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege. Well, we welcome everybody tuned in along FloCollege tonight, including Kip Ransom, who's given me a shout from Lincoln, Nebraska. Son Caden getting the night off tonight. Such an impressive first-year Miller. Caden Ransom. Enjoy watching him play each and every night. And I appreciate you, Kip, tuning in tonight on FloCollege. We won't be playing Tim Hortons Miller's Trivia tonight, just to give everybody a heads up. That is just on special occasions and warmer nights. All right. Weston Walls working into the third here, and here's the batting order for the Berries. Aiden Marion, the catcher, comes to the plate for his first appearance of the night. Nash Nichols is on deck. Miller's Berries scoreless, top of the third inning as Walls kicks and delivers. Here's a roller to short. Soto up with that, and a bullet in time to first for one away. Aiden Marion, the catcher, grounds out to short, and this defensive gem continues tonight in the Band City. So Nash Nichols, the center fielder, comes to the plate for the Saskatoon Berries in this scoreless third inning. Nash Nichols from Waxahachie, Texas. And he plays collegiately at Dallas College in Brookhaven, Texas. 1-1 the count on Nash. And this one caught the top of the strike zone for, 0-2 is the count. 6'1", 170 is Nash Nichols. Again from Waxahachie. The 0-2, high and inside for ball one on Nash Nichols, the number 9 hitter and tonight's center fielder for the Saskatoon Berries. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Nichols for 2 away. Again, Weston Wall setting a strikeout record last season for the Millers. That's his first rung up tonight. And we go to the top of the batting order. The one-time Miller, Nathan Houston, comes to the plate. He's got family in tonight. Catching the game. This is the second plate appearance for Nate. First pitch swinging. In the air to right, coming after it, the right fielder Jacob Mraz to make the catch, and it's a 3-up 3-down inning. Nathan Houston flies out to the right fielder. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. At Roswell's Park, due up Wallachek, Soto, and Franks. You're watching FloCollege Baseball.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Number 13, Ben Wallachek.
The man they call Wally will lead it off in the bottom of the third inning for the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Or Big Red. He's just happy if you're calling him something. Wichita, Kansas product Ben Wallachek, the number 9 hitter, who has been stellar as always at second base in the field for Moose Jaw tonight. Faces a first pitch fastball low and outside for ball 1 from Jackson Fox, tonight's starting pitcher for the Saskatoon Berries. And this one, curveball in for strike 1, called 1-1 the call here on Ben Wallachek. And this curveball plunks Ben, or I thought he did, off his left arm. Did he not, Jenna? Oh, went off his bat. And Ben's got to shake this off. He's called for a minute. Yeah, I thought this caught him up above his left elbow. Umpire Huck Craig, home plate umpire, felt otherwise. And it's called a strike on Ben, 3-1. He's going to feel that tomorrow. He feels it now. Ben batting .333 on the season. His 6 walks are second only to Pacey Phillips, 9. And a team-leading 12 runs scored. Takes strike 2, called. Full count here on Ben Wallachek. This one hit in the air, a looper into right field. And Ben Wallachek is aboard with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third inning.
Number 22, Thomas Soto.
Top of the order we go. Thomas Soto will come to the plate for Moose Jaw. Chris Franks on deck. Thomas struck out to lead off the game back in the first inning. Here we are, scoreless in the third. Millers and Berries, a battle of the division leaders. Swung on, and that gets through into center field. Around second goes Wallachek. Here's the throw down to third. Safe at third is Wallachek. And a single from Thomas Soto, and that's got him cheering here in Roswell's Park in the bottom of the third inning. Now the Millers have a runner in scoring position. In fact, runners on the corners and none away here in the bottom of the third, as Chris Franks, the Millers' batting leader, comes to the plate. He flied out to center field back in the first inning. But the Millers threatening here as Jackson Fox looks in for the sign. First pitch in for strike one, called 0-1. Soto off to second. And they're calling a balk. Oh, Jackson Fox is very upset with the home plate umpire, Huck Craig, as Ben Wallachuk will score. Joe Carnahan has come out of the dugout, the Barry skipper, to calm down his young starter, Jackson Fox, as the Millers score first here tonight. And Ben Wallachuk, his team leading 13th run scored of the season. I'll tell you what, for a cold night in the ballpark, there's a lot of energy in here tonight. Everybody's having a great time, except for Jackson Fox, who settled it down here after a chat with Joe Carnahan. And with none out and a runner on second now, Chris Franks at the plate for Moose Jaw, facing an 0-1 count. This one outside for ball one, 1-1. Jackson Fox, a Saskatoon kid, plays at Cloud County Community College. Berries love their local players. Fox checks the runner. And the 1-1 is outside for ball two on Chris Franks. The deadlock's been broken. The Berries trail Moose Jaw 1-0 here now in the bottom of the third inning. Lights on an overcast night. And this pitch in for strike two, called 2-2. Chris Franks batting .406. And a team leading 2 home runs. This one fouled off by Chris Franks. 2-2 is the count. Jackson Fox making his 4th start. He has a 1-0 record. Has pitched 10 complete innings. Here's the 2-2. Thomas Soto out to a big lead at second. This one, a looper into left. Around third comes Soto. And it's a run-scoring double for Chris Franks here in the bottom of the third inning.
And Franks doubles one home. Bringing up to the plate, number 27, William Edwards.
Now, this is a great East Division rivalry, by the way. Playoff meetings will do that. Millers lost an epic first-round series last season that was decided in extra innings in the deciding third game. That was in 2025 before the Berries eventually bowed out to the Regina Red Sox in the division final, the eventual league champion Regina Red Sox. Will Edwards is at the plate. Garen Plummer is on deck for Moose Jaw. The year before that, the Millers won a playoff series on their way to the East Division Championship and an appearance in the league final. So, yeah, these two franchises no strangers to each other. Dare I say no love lost either. I don't think the Millers were upset to see the end of Carter Beck in the WCBL. It was his grand slam in the 10th of the deciding game last year that decided it. Curveball swung on by Will Edwards, popped up into shallow right center field, and that is caught by Salinas, the second baseman, for one away. Will Edwards flies out to the second baseman. One out now in the bottom of the third inning as Garen Plummer, the first baseman, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. Garen Plummer, first-year catcher out of Wichita, Kansas. Well, tonight he's at first. Pickoff attempt to second, and back safely is Chris Franks. One out, one on, bottom of the third. The first baseman, Garen Plummer, at the plate. He grounded out to short in his only other at-bat back in the second inning. Fox's delivery is high for ball one, 1-0. And here's a grounder up the middle. That'll get through and score Chris Franks. And it's a 3-run third inning for the Millers. Counted an RBI single for Garen Plummer. And the Millers are getting to Jackson Fox here in the third inning as Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw, the left-handed hitting left fielder. Jimmy Kurtz batting .227 on the season. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. This is the 7th game appearance for Jimmy Kurtz on the season. Again, batting .227. This one sliced foul down the third base line. 0-2. Again, the Millers haven't played since Tuesday's 16-9 victory over Swift Current. They were rained out Wednesday at Swift, rained out Thursday at Weyburn. Here's a fastball jumped on by Kurtz, a grounder to second, and the Berries turn the double play. And that will end the inning, but not before the Millers put 3 on the board. We'll go to the 4th. Moose Jaw up 3-0, and you're watching WCBL baseball on FloCollege. Top 4 at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. Weston Walls dealing for the Millers, which is to be expected from the 6'5" pecan farmer from Terrell, Texas. I'm looking forward to seeing his family when they get up here this summer. Hope it's a little warmer for them when they come. 14 Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit at game time here tonight at Roswell's Park. For the Millers, for the Berries, Nick Stinson, the left fielder, will lead it off. Ethan Murdoch and Gavin Panks due up for the visitors. Walls kicks and delivers high. Oh, no, caught the top of the strike zone for strike one, called 0-1. Nick Stinson grounded out to second back in the first inning. And here's a chopper towards short. Michael Rago, the third baseman, will jump on it. And his throw not in time. Safe with a leadoff single is Nick Stinson here to lead off the Berries' fourth. And the right fielder, Ethan Murdoch, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. The veteran Berries outfielder from Swift Current Sask. He's usually got family in for these road games from Swifty, and I'm sure he is tonight. There's a lot of Berries fans in the house. This one caught the inside edge of the strike zone for strike one, called 0-1 here on Ethan Murdoch, who grounded out to second back in the first inning. Here is a slow roller back to the mound. Walls on it. And the throw to first is not in time, and that'll go into the books as a single for Ethan Murdoch, and the Berries have two aboard here in the top of the fourth inning. Derek Murdoch is the father of Ethan, high school teacher and football coach in Swifty. Gavin Panks, the first baseman, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. 2 on, none out in the fourth for the division-leading Berries, who come in at 8-3. And this one swung on. It'll get down into left field. Being waved around third is Stinson. He'll score, and the Berries are on the board. Run-scoring single for Gavin Panks here in the top of the fourth inning. Nick Stinson comes across, and the Millers' lead's been cut to 3-1. To second goes Ethan Murdoch. Gail Salinas comes to the plate, the second baseman for the Berries. None out here in the top of the fourth inning. Fastball from Walls in for strike one, called 0-1. When Walls brings the gas, there aren't many better in this league. Now playing at Central Methodist is Weston, formerly at Incarnate Word. Outside with this offering, 1-1. The count on Salinas, who flied out to right in his only other at-bat back in the second inning. Don't forget, it's a doubleheader Saturday. Weyburn Beavers in town. First pitch 6:05 here at Ross Wells Park. Craig Hemingway will be calling the game, as you know, Jenna. One and two the count here on the second baseman, Gail Salinas. Out of Rogers, Arkansas. And this one fouled off. And this one fouled off by Gail Salinas. Stays alive at 1 and 2. Runners at first and second, and none out in the top of the fourth inning. And here's the 1-2 on Salinas. High for ball 2, 2-2. Mentioned the Berries' last game was an 8-6 loss at Regina. Their next game is versus Regina at Next Gen Patch in Saskatoon on Saturday. Here's the 2-2 on Gail Salinas. And this one, a liner into right. And that'll load the bases here with none out in the top of the 4th inning. Gail Salinas reaches first safely. To second goes Gavin Panks. To third, Ethan Murdoch. And that brings out of the dugout Jeff Freeborn, the pitching coach for the Millers. We'll step back a moment. 3-1 Moose Jaw in the 4th on FloCollege. All right, Josh Henson, the third baseman, is at the plate for Saskatoon. None out, and the base is loaded here in the top of the 4th inning. And the first pitch from Walls caught the outside edge for strike 1 call. Josh Henson, the third baseman, grounded out to short back in the 2nd inning. Comes to the plate in a very favorable situation here. This one low for ball 1, 1-1. Miller's Baseball brought to you in part by Culligan, the official water supplier of your Miller Express. Tim Hortons and Ottawa Real Estate. 1-1 the count here on the third baseman, Josh Henson, out of Huntsville, Alabama. Curveball from Weston is in for a ball inside, 2-1. This one fouled off, 2-2. Saskatoon Berries come in as the #1 team in the power rankings in the WCBL, presented by Fortis Alberta. Okotoks 2nd, Lethbridge 3, Sylvan 4th, and the Moose Jaw Millers ranked 5th in the WCBL. Here's the 2-2 on Josh Henson. Ball 3. And curveball outside for ball 4, and that will force in a run. And the Millers' lead has been cut to 3-2 as Ethan Murdoch comes across.
Henson walks, bringing up to the plate, #2, Brock Laird.
Josh Henson draws the walk, and Brock Laird, the shortstop, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. Gavin Panks to third, Gail Salinas to second, and Josh Henson to first. None out, top of the 4th. Bases loaded in a 3-2 Millers lead. Walls looks in for the sign from Gary Swan. Curveball is in for ball 1, 1-0. high for ball 3, 3-0. Shortstop Brock Laird at the plate here for Saskatoon. Flied out to short back in the second inning. And it's strike one called. 3-1 here. The count on Brock Laird. Well, we always keep very close eye on the East Division standings. As we mentioned, the Berries 8-3 on top of the division. The Miller Express 3 wins back at 5-4. Lethbridge is out front in the West Division. Fastball. Here is a grounder to second. Wallachek, the throw to second. Soto tries to turn it and cannot. That'll score a run. Brock Laird is safe in the fielder's choice. Gavin Pank scores, and we got a tied ball game here in Moose Jaw as Josh Henson is thrown out at second in the double play. 3-3 ball game, and now one away here in the top of the fourth as the catcher, Aiden Marion, comes to the plate for the Berries, with now one away and runners on the corners. Lethbridge and Okotoks lead the West Division with identical 8-3 records, matching the Berries division leading mark in the East. Sylvan Lake at 5-5 sits third. Brooks Bombers having a tough season at 1-7. This one fouled off by Marion. 0-2 the count. This one hit in the air to right center field. A leaping catch made by the right fielder Jacob Mraz, but it'll score a run. Sack fly for Aiden Marion, but Gail Salinas will come across. And it's a 4-3 Berries lead here in the top of the fourth inning.
Bring up to the plate, number 3, Nash Nichols.
A 4-run fourth has put the Berries in the lead as the number 9 hitter, Nash Nichols, comes to the plate here for the Berries. Now, runner on first and one away. Curveball is off target for ball one. 1-0 on Nash Nichols, who struck out back in the third inning. Outside for ball two, 2-0. Three and 0 the count on Nash Nichols. The center fielder from Waxahachie, Texas. And this one piped for strike one, called 3-1. This is the most runs allowed by Weston in a start this season, and I might add walks as well, as Nash Nichols draws ball 4. And he is to first base. To second goes Brock Laird. And we go to the top of the order with the star designated hitter tonight, Nathan Houston, coming to the plate for the Berries. Nathan now playing collegiately at Louisiana Tech out of Melville, Sask. And this first pitch low and away for ball one, 1-0 on Nathan. That was a very special group in 2024. It was 6 Millers All-Stars representing the East Division and this proud city in Okotoks at that All-Star game, which the East Division won. Strike two called, 1-2. Nate Mensick, Nathan Houston. among the 6 All-Stars that year. Thomas Soto, of course, as he always is. Curveball from Walls, got it going there. Strike 2 called, 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Houston, and that will retire the side, but not before the Berries put 4 on the board, and we go to the bottom of the 4th with Saskatoon now leading 4-3. Mraz, Swan, and Rago due up. For the Millers, you're watching Friday night WCBL baseball on FloCollege.
Leading off for your Miller Express in the bottom of the 4th inning, number 6, Jacob Mraz.
Jacob Mraz, the right fielder, will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th inning for Moose Jaw. Mraz, Gary Swan, and Michael Rago due up for Moose Jaw, who now trails for the first time. First pitch from Jackson Fox catches the outside edge for strike 1 called, 0-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Huck Craig. On the bases, Brent Chadwick and Sean Wetherill. Ball 1 on Mraz, 1-1. He singled back in the 2nd inning and was left stranded. Jacob Mraz from Meade, Colorado. Appearing in his 7th game of the season. Here's a chopper back to the mound. Jackson Fox on that with the underhanded toss to first. In time and 1 away. Jacob Mraz grounds out to the pitcher to lead off the Millers' 4th. And Gary Swan comes to the plate for Moose Jaw here in the bottom of the 4th inning. In game number 10 for the Millers. Fastball from Fox. Some heat on it. Swing and a miss from Swan. 0-1. Gary Swan walked back in the 2nd inning. He's hit by a pitch here, and he'll take first.
Swan's hit by a pitch, bring it up to the plate, number 11, Michael Rago.
Michael Rago, the 3rd baseman, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. Struck out back in the 2nd to end the inning. First pitch swinging in the air to left. And dancing over to his left to make the catch is Stinson for 2 away here. Michael Rago flies out to the left fielder. And that'll bring to the plate the 2nd baseman, Ben Wallachek. Ben singled and scored a run back in the 3rd. The always energetic and entertaining Ben Wallachek. And if his family's tuned in, I got a tip from a viewer of my TV show that his father, Ben's father, was a legendary bowler. Here's a roller, bunt roller down the 3rd baseline, rolling foul. if that's true. I know the Wallacheks are always tuned in here on FloCollege. Did you know that, Jenna, that Ben's dad was a legendary bowler? We'll have to look that up. Who would lie about something like that?
That specifically.
Yeah, the viewers of my TV show don't miss much. 2 out, 1 on, bottom of the fourth. Ben Wallachek, the number 9 hitter at the plate here for Moose Jaw. Fastball from Fox, fouled back, straight back, and off the press box for strike 1, 0-1 on Wallachek. If you're following along on FloCollege, let us know who you're tuned in for. At Rod Peterson on Twitter, RODPEDERSEN. Love to hear from you. We'll pass along the shout out. Kip Ransom tuned in. Oh, and here's Ben hit by a second time. And now we got an argument at the plate. Huck Craig is calling him out, and Ben is obviously very upset with the call by the home plate umpire, Huck Craig, and that will end the inning. And we'll go to the 5th with the Berries up 4-3 on FloCollege.
Gary these days been lying in his bed now,
They were not lying.
working on the same car going on a decade.
Won almost $500,000,000.
Scribbles on junk money don't draw attention. Never really
He has a
noticed
few
but none
titles.
of them
He has 2 titles. He's paid like $300,000,000.
boys named Gary these days.
Leading off for the Berries at the top of the 5th inning, number 28, Nick Stinson.
Back at Roswell's Park to the 5th we go. Nick Stinson is the leadoff hitter. Nick Stinson, Ethan Murdoch, and Gavin Panks are due up for the Saskatoon Berries, who now have a 4-3 lead to open the 5th inning. Walls still dealing here into the 5th. Opens up with a curveball that is high and outside for ball 1. The official scoring on Ben Wallachek was a strikeout to end the 4th. A much contested one. Fastball from Weston, swing and a miss, 1-1. And Jenna's not just a producer and switcher, she's a researcher too. Lonnie Wallachek, how many events he's won? Or was in 300, over 300 PBA events? 308. And 2 titles. How about that? Lonnie Wallachek. So Ben comes by it honestly. Ben bowls as well? Amazing. Such colorful backgrounds these kids have, and clearly their families as well. 1-2 the count here on Nick Stinson, the left fielder, who grounded out to second and singled in his prior at-bats. The 1-2, here is a roller back to the mound. Wall's throw over to first is in time. 1 away. Nick Stinson grounds out to the first. What other quirky facts do we have about Miller players, or for that matter, Berries? Let us know. At Rod Peterson on Twitter, we'd love to pass them along. I got to rely on the viewers to let me know these things. Ethan Murdoch at the plate. Ooh, curveball inside from Weston for ball one. Fastball swung on, fouled down the first baseline, not playable. Oh, just a kid. Jenna showed me a picture of Ben with the 10-pin ball. Wow. Very active sporting family, those Wallacheks down there in Wichita, Kansas. This one, a liner foul. Had everybody ducking at the Berries dugout. Again, good crowd on a Friday night and a lot of Berries fans here. What started out as a real defensive struggle was blown open by a 3-run Miller's third and a 4-run Berries fourth. And here we are in the fifth. 1-2 the count on Murdoch. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. 2 away here in the top of the fifth. Third strikeout registered by Weston Walls in the game. And Gavin Panks, the first baseman, comes to the plate here for the Bridge City. Gavin Panks from Covington, Louisiana. Fastball inside of the knees for ball one. Gavin Panks plays collegiately at Southeastern Louisiana University. This one fouled back. Fumble. 1-1. The count here on Gavin Panks, who has a pair of singles for 2 plate appearances here tonight and scored a run. This one caught the outside edge for strike 2, called 1-2. Again, the Berries' next game Saturday versus the Regina Red Sox at the Berry Patch in Saskatoon. Millers have a doubleheader here Saturday, 6 p.m. first pitch against the Weyburn Beavers. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Panks for a 3-up, 3-down inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth with the Berries leading by 1. Due up for them, for the Millers, Soto, Franks, and Edwards. This is FloCollege baseball.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Leading off for the Miller Express in the bottom of the fifth inning, number 22, Thomas Soto.
Bottom of the fifth we go. This game's clipping along. Hopefully that's not the kiss of death. Thomas Soto will lead it off for Moose Jaw in their fifth. Chris Franks and Will Edwards are due up for the black and yellow here. And a tight ball game, a very entertaining one in Canada's most notorious city. Thomas lays down a bunt that rolls foul down the third baseline, and the speedster was already to first by the time that thing rolled foul. So Thomas makes the quick jaunt back to home plate. Soto has struck out and singled tonight and scored a run. Back for his 4th season with the Moose Jaw Miller Express, Thomas Soto. Austin Gurney was another one of those All-Stars back in 2024. Fastball delivery from Fox is fouled off and out of play for strike two. 0-2 here on Soto. And here is a liner that takes a quick dip off the lip of the grass at first base into right for a single for Thomas Soto. A leadoff single for the Round Rock, Texas product. And Chris Franks will come to the plate, the center fielder for Moose Jaw, with a runner on and none out in the fifth. The center fielder, Chris Franks, is flied out to center and doubled here tonight for Moose Jaw and scored a run. Throw over to first, and Soto's back in time. Jackson Fox has done his homework on Soto. Always a threat to steal. Another pickoff attempt, and Thomas back in time. This one lone outside for ball one, 1-0. Miller's Baseball is, of course, brought to you by Ottawa Real Estate, Moose Jaw Funeral Home, and Heartland Financial. 1-0 the count here on Chris Franks, the center fielder. None out, runner on first. That's Thomas Soto. Swing and a miss from Franks. 1-1. Fastball outside for ball two, 2-1. Jackson Fox on the mound here for Saskatoon tonight. From Cloud County Community College, looking at a 2-1 count here on Chris Franks. Fastball caught the outside edge for strike two, called 2-2. Outside for ball three. Full count here on Chris Franks. Will Edwards is on deck, followed by Garen Plummer. 4-3 Barry's lead in the Miller's half of the fifth inning. One on and none out. Outside for ball four. And runners at first and second now for Moose Jaw. And none away in the bottom of the fifth, as Will Edwards will come to the plate now, the designated hitter.
This stoppage in play brought to you by Culligan, the official water supplier of your Miller.
Dustin Mulliken comes out for a mound visit. We'll step back a second. 4-3 Barry's lead in the fifth.
Another reminder, folks, the 50-50 still rolling around. Come find Tracy. We got yellow and green tickets.
All right, Will Edwards comes to the plate for the third time tonight. He has struck out and flied out to the second baseman. University of Sioux Falls project in his second year with the Millers. None out, runners on first and second. Soto back to second. Will Edwards batting .270 on the season. And a team leading, second in hits with 10. Curveball from Fox is inside at the letters for ball 1-1-0. Thomas Soto leads the club in hits with 12. Will Edwards next with 10. 1-0 the count here in the 6'3" Aussie. Showed out to his family who's tuned into every game down under. Outside for ball 2, 2-0 on Will. Curveball in for strike 2 called. 2-2. Yeah, 2-2 on Will Edwards. Miller's Baseball brought to you in part by SEIU West, Roto's Pizza, The Mad Greek, and Jump.ca Sastel. Here's the 2-2 on Will Edwards. Outside for ball 3. Full count on the designated hitter. Garen Plummer's on deck, followed by Jimmy Kurtz here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tying run is at second. Go ahead and run at first. None away. And Will lays his bat into this one. Foul. Down Caribou Street, 3-2. The sun's peeking out a little bit here in the 5th inning. It was overcast at game time and a chilly 14 degrees Celsius, 57 above Fahrenheit. The wind is still up northwest at 28, but fans having a fun time here in the ballpark. Here's the payoff pitch on Will Edwards, high for ball 4, and the Millers load him up here in their 5th inning. And Joe Carnahan comes out to the mound for the Saskatoon Berries here. And we will have a pitching change for Saskatoon. 4-3, the Berries lead in the 5th on FloCollege. Pitching change for the Saskatoon Berries here in the 5th inning. Coming in, number 49, Colin Plain, another Saskatoon product who pitches at Arizona Christian University. The batter for the Moose Jaw Millers is Garen Plummer here with the bases loaded and none away in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Berries leading 4-3. The unofficial line for Jackson Fox, the Berries starter, he went 4 complete. Allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, and struck out 4. And now he makes way in the 5th inning for Colin Plain with none away and the bases loaded. The Berries are in a jam. Fastball from Plain, swung on, tip foul, 0-1. I will say when they announced this expansion team, I thought the Saskatoon Berries name was a little hokey. But it quickly grew on me, and as usual, couldn't imagine them being called anything else. Although there was a great baseball history in Saskatoon. Yellow Jackets, Stallions. This one popped up into right center field. Coming over to make the catch, the right fielder, Murdoch. And it's going to score a run. Tie ball game. Thomas Soto scores on the sac fly by Garen Plummer.
Plummer with the sac fly to right field. Bring up to the plate, number 10, Jimmy Kurtz.
Thomas Soto scores for the 2nd time tonight. And Jimmy Kurtz, the left fielder, will come to the plate here for Moose Jaw in their 5th. 4-4 the score now. What a critical game this is in the East Division standings. A Miller's win would push him to just within 2 of the division-leading Berries. With a lot of baseball left, but it's been a pretty great start to the rookie campaign of skipper Michael Gonzalez. First pitch low and inside for ball 1 on Jimmy Kurtz. 3rd at bat, he's grounded out to 2nd twice tonight. The righty Colin Plain looks in. Here's the 1-0. This one fouled back and out of play. 1-1 the count on Jimmy Kurtz. Jimmy Kurtz batting .227 in his first Miller's campaign, appearing in his 7th game of the season. Fastball low and in the dirt. 2-1 the count on Jimmy. From Buena, New Jersey. He plays at Caldwell University. And swung on, swing and a miss, 2-2. Runners now on the corners and 1 out here in a tie ball game, bottom of the 5th inning. Outside for ball 3, 3-2. On the 6'4" outfielder. Kurtz draws ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. To 2nd goes Will Edwards. To 3rd, Chris Frank. Well, Chris Franks was already at 3rd. And Jacob Mraz, the right fielder, comes to the plate here with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 5th. Tight ball game. It's got everything you've wanted here tonight between these division leaders and division rivals. Outside for ball one on Jacob Mraz. He is singled and grounded out to the pitcher tonight. From Meade, Colorado, he plays at Colby Community College. This one fouled straight back toward the press box. 1-1. The count here on Jacob Mraz. He's batting .429 on the season. Appearing in his 7th game of the year. This one popped up out of play. Comes down right behind the backstop. 1-2 the count here on Jacob Mraz, the right fielder. Miller's Baseball brought to you by Canadian Tire, Moose Jaw, Carpet One, Westrom Lumber, and Casino Moose Jaw. And, of course, the Temple Garden Mineral Spa. Just one more week, Jenna, till the pool opens. Swing and a miss, and down goes Mraz for 2 away.
Mraz strikes out, bring up to the plate, number 8, Gary Swan.
Gary Swan, the catcher, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. Hard to say what's the #1 tourist attraction in Moose Jaw, but Temple Gardens Mineral Spa is right up there. And undergoing renos for the first time in its 30-year history. Kind of missed that place being open, huh?
The outdoor pool opens on Monday.
Is it Monday the outdoor pool opens? I'm waiting for the steam rooms myself. Want to know the count here on Gary Swan. Tonight he's walked and been hit by a pitch. The catcher from Peoria, Arizona. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. I'm waiting for Gary Swan to perform a head-first dive. Do you know why? It would be a swan dive. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm sure he's heard it. Swing and a miss from Swan, 2-1. Ooh, strike 2 called. Some heat from Plain. Caught the inside edge, 2-2. Bases loaded, 2 out in a 4-4 game. Gary Swan at the plate, Michael Rago on deck. Plain looks in for the sign from the catcher Marion. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back. Swan stays alive. All the latest WCBL news, go to WCBLBaseball.com. Stats, power rankings, standings, of course, all the latest news, WCBLBaseball.com. 2-2 the count on Swan. Bases loaded, 2 out. High for ball. Oh, it's 3-2 now. Okay. Now the full count. And Plain steps off, 3-2 the count. Runners go, swing and a miss. Down goes Swan, and the Berries get out of the jam. 4-4 the score. We go to the 6th. You're watching WCBL Friday Night Baseball on FloCollege.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Top of the 6th in Moose Jaw. Weston Walls working into the 6th inning here for Moose Jaw with his Millers tied 4-4 against the visiting Saskatoon Berries. The batting order, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Gail Salinas, Josh Henson, and Brock Laird. Gail Salinas will lead it off here, the second baseman. Out of Rogers, Arkansas. 4-4 as we go to the 6th inning here. Kicking off the weekend. Berries will be home to the Regina Red Sox Saturday. Miller's home to the Weyburn Beavers in a Saturday doubleheader as well. Craig Hemingway will be performing this role tomorrow. Keeping the chair warm for Craig, longtime Moose Jaw broadcaster. Fastball from Weston is inside for a ball 1-1-0. Third at bat for Salinas. He flied out to right and singled Pryor. Fastball again from Weston, fouled off and out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Elkridge Glass. We know glass. Call 631.
Still a stiff breeze here in the evening in Moose Jaw here as night falls on the Band City. 1-1 the count as Walls looks in and delivers. Curveball slider is in there for a strike. 1-2. Same pitch. This one hit Salinas in the back. And he will take first base here to lead it off in the 6th inning. And Josh Henson, the third baseman, comes to the plate. Weston taps his chest, says, "That one's on me, fellas." Go ahead run now at first as Josh Henson, the third baseman, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. This one is outside and gets past Gary Swan. To second goes Gail Salinas. This game has a playoff feel, wouldn't you say, Jenna? Tight one. Walls going deep. Jackson Fox, their starter, went into the 5th as Weston checks the runner at second. None away. Runner on second here now with Josh Henson at the plate. Brock Laird on deck. 2-1 the count here on the third baseman. Inside for ball 3, 3-1. Go ahead run is at second here in a 4-4 tie, top of the sixth inning. 1 on, none out. Miller's Baseball brought to you in part by Bugsy's Irish Pub in the Town and Country Mall, Moose Jaw Warriors, and EMJ Marketing. The 3-1, and right down the pipe for strike 2. Now the full count on Josh Henson, the third baseman. Here is a roller foul down the third base line. Henson stays alive at 3-2. Fastball delivery, swing and a miss, and down goes Josh Henson for 2 away. Check that, 1 away. 1 out, 1 on, and the sixth is Brock Laird, the shortstop, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. Check of the out-of-town scoreboard. In Regina, the Weyburn Beavers have a 1-0 lead at the Red Sox, top 8. Swift Current and Okotoks tied 4-4 in the sixth in Okotoks. Brooks out to a 5-2 home field lead over the Sylvan Lake Gulls in the sixth inning. Lethbridge's 7-4 lead at Fort McMurray in the sixth. And Energy City and Medicine Hat all tied up 3-3 in the fourth inning. Everybody in action on a Friday night in the WCBL. 0-1 the count here on Brock Laird, the shortstop. 1 out, 1 on now in the Berries' sixth. Outside with this delivery, 1-1. No action up in the CNS Builders bullpen for Moose Jaw. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and a miss, 1-2. Aiden Marion, the catcher, is on deck, followed by Nash Nichols. Third plate appearance for Brock Laird here. He's flied out to short and hit into a fielder's, or was safe on a fielder's choice. Here's the 1-2 from Weston Walls. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back Ks for the Millers, and that'll bring to the plate the catcher, Aiden Marion, with the center fielder Nash Nichols on deck. 4-4 in the sixth now, and 2 away with the go-ahead run standing at second, Gail Salinas. He was the leadoff man here in the Berries' sixth. Fastball caught the outside edge for strike 1, 0-1. Fastball delivery outside for ball 1, 1-1. Strike 2 called as Weston's got the toolbox working here in the sixth inning. 1-2 the count here on the catcher, Aiden Marion. Weston checks the runner at second. Salinas out to a good-sized lead. Here's the 1-2. High for ball 2, 2-2. Aiden Marion, the Berries catcher, is from Saskatoon. He plays at Sacramento State University. 5'10", 190. There's a lot of Saskatoon kids on this Berries roster. Here's the 2-2, swung on, and down he goes. 3 straight strikeouts, retires the side, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for the Millers, Rago, Wallachek, and Soto. 4-4 is the score in the 6th here on FloCollege Baseball. Cousin, I talked to his grandpa. Oh, who's better? Carter. By quite a bit. Nephew. Well, we got another pitching change for the Berries here in the 6th. Reed Beck comes into the game in a relief role on a night that his grandparents are here, Ray and Judy from Lang, Saskatchewan. And we mentioned earlier that we had a great visit. This is the oldest of the Blair Beck clan, cousin of Carter Beck. So a fortuitous trip up from Lang to Moose Jaw tonight to catch Reed Beck in a relief role here tonight for the Saskatoon Berries in a 4-4 tie. As I said, this game has had a playoff feel to it. Reed Beck is the 3rd pitcher used for Saskatoon tonight. And Colin Plain worked 2 complete, allowed no hits and no runs, giving way for Reed Beck here in the bottom of the 6th inning. For Moose Jaw, Michael Rago, Ben Wallachek, and Thomas Soto are due up in this 4-4 tie. Reed Beck has a 4.50 ERA in his work so far this young WCBL season. This one fouled off by Rago. 1-1 the count. Reed Beck from Meadow Lake, Sask, and another Berry who plays at Cloud County Community College. This one popped up, in play, down the first base line. Tracking over to make the catch is the first baseman, Panks, for 1 away. Michael Rago flies out to the first baseman. Ben Wallachek will come to the plate. He's had a very contentious night at the plate with home plate umpire Huck Craig. His last at bat officially ruled a strikeout. See what Ben has up his sleeve here in the bottom of the 6th inning, facing the rookie Reed Beck. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1, 1-0. Reed is a first cousin of former Saskatoon Berries star Carter Beck, who The grandfather Ray telling me prior to the game. Projected. There's a lot of different projections, but they're hoping and expecting Carter could go as high as the second round in the July MLB draft. 2-1 the count here on Ben Wolochuk. Fastball is inside for ball 3, 3-1. Outside for ball 4, Ben Wolochuk draws the walk, and he represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th inning as we go to the top of the order. And Thomas Soto comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw to a huge hometown crowd cheer. 1 out, 1 on now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Very entertaining ball game here on a Friday night on FloCollege baseball. Outside for ball 1, 1-1. Soto tonight has struck out and singled twice, scored 2 runs. This is his 4th at bat. Ben Wolochuk at first, 1 away. Reed back with a pickoff attempt and back safely is Wolochuk. 1-1 the count here on the switch hitting Thomas Soto. And this one thrown away by Beck. And Ben Wolochuk is away to second. Now a runner in scoring position, 1-1 the count on Thomas Soto. Wolochuk dancing around at second, teasing the Berries pitcher Reed Beck. Beck gets the sign. Here's the 1-1. Caught the outside edge for strike 2, called 1-2 on Thomas Soto. Miller's Baseball brought to you, as always, in part by Culligan Water, Deja Vu Cafe, CNS Builders, and Sask Pork. The 1-2 swung on, and down goes Soto for 2 away.
Soto strikes out, bring up the plate, number 4, Chris.
Chris Franks, the number 2 hitter, comes to the plate for Moose Jaw with Will Edwards on deck. Jackson Fox started for the Berries tonight, went 4 complete, struck out 4, walked 3, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Colin Plain worked 1 inning. No runs, no hits given up, making way for Reed Beck here in the 6th. First pitch on Franks caught the outside edge for strike 1, called 0-1. Here's the pickoff attempt back to Wolochuk, and he's back safely. 0-1 the count here on Chris Franks in the Miller's 6th inning. 2 out and a runner at second here. Ben gets up, wincing a little bit. 0-1 the count here on Chris Franks. He tonight is flied out to center, doubled and walked. And the pickoff attempt, and back is Wallachuk narrowly as the crowd is oohing and awing. This one swung on by Franks, popped up into shallow right. Salinas waves everybody off and makes the catch, and that will retire the side. We'll go to the 7th inning in a 4-4 tie, due up for the Berries. Nichols, Houston, and Stinson. And you're watching WCBL Friday Night Baseball on FloCollege.
This evening to page 8. Winning our last prizes of the evening, a Dairy Queen Blizzard is number 247 and a Deja Vu gift certificate to 254.
Leading off for the Bears in the top of the 7th inning, number 3, Nash Nichols.
Top of the 7th we go. Weston Walls still working for the Millers here, and Nash Nichols, the center fielder, is the leadoff man here. Nichols, Houston, and Stinson due up for the Berries in a 4-4 tie. This one tagged deep center field, back, and gone. It's a leadoff home run for Nash Nichols, and the solo shot gives the Berries the 5-4 lead here to open the 7th inning.
Now batting for the Berries, number 11, Nathan Houston.
Nash Nichols connects for the Saskatoon Berries here with a leadoff solo home run, and the Berries go up 5-4 here in the top of the 7th inning. This one tipped foul by Nathan Houston. 0-1 the count. Nash Nichols batting .356 on the season. And that is his 4th home run of the campaign. Out of Waxahachie, Texas, Nash Nichols giving the Berries a lead here in the 7th. Nathan Houston tonight is singled, flied out to right, and struck out. Perennial all-star out of Melville. Curveball from Walls is low for ball 1, 1-2. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Houston for one away. His second strikeout of the night. Nick Stinson, the left fielder, will come to the plate here for the Berries with Ethan Murdoch on deck. Left-handed hitting left fielder Nick Stinson with his third plate trip tonight. He's grounded out to second, singled, and grounded out to the pitcher. First pitch is outside for ball 1, 1-0. 5-4 Berries now, courtesy the solo home run from Nash Nichols, which led off this seventh inning. Hi, Judy. Oh, it's Regan's son? Didn't I say Regan? Did I? Oh, sorry. Too many Becks in the house. Reed Beck's father is Regan Beck. My bad. Thought I said it. Good thing Grandma's around. Oh, they're always tuned in. This one outside off the top of the mid of the catcher, Gary Swan, 2-1. Low for ball 3, 3-1. The count here on Nick Stinson. One away here, nobody on in the top of the seventh. Walls kicks and delivers. Strike 2 called. 3-2. Fastball is in there for ball 4. So to first goes Nick Stinson with one away, and the right fielder, Ethan Murdoch, comes to the plate here for the Berries. Gavin Panks is on deck. Weston Walls, tonight's starter, working into the 7th inning, facing Ethan Murdoch for a 4th time. Ball 1 on Murdoch. Tonight he is grounded out to the catcher, singled and struck out. He's also scored one of the 5 Berries runs. Here's the 1-0. Fastball outside for 2-0. Here is the chopper down towards third. Rago up with that. Throw to second is in time to get the lead runner for 2 away. Ethan Murdoch safe on the fielder's choice. And with 2 away, and a runner on first, Gavin Panks, the first baseman, will come to the plate here for the Berries. Gail Salinas is on deck for the Saskatoon Berries. Berries home to Regina Saturday night. Miller's home to Weyburn in a doubleheader. Curveball in for strike 1 on Panks, 0-1. One and 1 the count here on the first baseman, Gavin Panks, out of Covington, Louisiana. He's playing at first base tonight out of southeastern Louisiana. Regularly a catcher, they tell me. Gavin Panks looking at a 1-1 count. Walls looks in and delivers. This one laced into right for a base hit. That is fielded by Jacob Mraz. And now the Berries have 2 men on and 2 out as Gail Salinas, the second baseman, comes to the plate. Now there's some action in the Millers bullpen as the visiting Berries have runners at first and second and 2 away. as Gail Salinas comes to the plate here for the Berries. Out of Rogers, Arkansas. Ball one on Salinas. Tonight he has flied out to right, singled and been hit by a pitch. Looking in against the 6'5" righty Weston Walls. 1-0 is the count. Outside for ball two. Weston still throwing hard here into the 7th inning. Strike one called, 2-1. Ethan Murdoch's at second, Gavin Panks at first, Gail Salinas at the plate. 5-4 Berries lead here in the 7th inning. 2 away. And it's a 2-1 count on the second baseman. And this one is low and outside. 3-1. Outside for ball 4, and the Berries have loaded them up here in the 7th inning with 2 away. And Josh Henson, the third baseman, will come to the plate. And Michael Gonzalez comes out, and we're going to have a pitching change for the Millers. 5-4 Berries. We'll be right back to Roswells Park here in FloCollege baseball. All right, pitching change here in Moose Jaw out of the CNS Builders bullpen. Number 29, Jacob Keelays comes into the game for the Moose Jaw Millers in a bases-loaded situation and 2 out. At the plate, Josh Henson, the third baseman for the Saskatoon Berries. Check swing on the first one he went, says home plate umpire Huck Craig. 0-1. Weston Walls went 6 2/3 innings tonight. Allowed 5 runs on 8 hits and struck out 8. Leaves with his club trailing 5-4. 0-1 the count on Henson. And this one tipped foul by the batter Josh Henson, the third baseman. 0-2 is the count. Jacob Keeley's veteran Miller out of Wallkill, New York. 6'4" righty who pitches at Mitchell College. Oh, and 2 the count here on Josh Henson. And this one fouled down the right field line. Not playable. This one fouled off. Henson stays alive at 0-2. Outside for ball 1, 1-2. Bases loaded, 2 out. Keeley's kicks at the rubber. And this one outside for ball 2. Henson is battled back to a 2-2 count. The third baseman today is grounded out to short, walked, and struck out. Outside for ball 3. Patient at bat for Henson has got this back to a full count. Lots of chatter in the ballpark. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners go. Strike 3 call. He got him looking. Keeley's gets him out of the bind. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. With the Berries leading 5-4, and they leave 3 runners on. You're watching WCBL Friday Night Baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Right foot 2 stomps. Left foot 2 stomps. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha real smooth. Let's go to work. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. 2 hops this time. Right foot 2 stomps. Left foot 2 stomps. Hands on your knees.
All right, to the bottom of the 7th we go at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. William Edwards, Garen Plummer, and Jimmy Kurtz due up for the Millers, who trail this one now 5-4. And Reed Beck on the mound for the Berries. That's Regan's son. Thought I said it. apologize to the Beck family. And first pitch is in for strike one called. 0-1 here on Will Edwards. Coming in batting .278 on the season. Will has struck out, flied out to the second baseman, and walked tonight. This one is inside at the knees. 1-1 on Will Edwards. It's a cool night in the ballpark, but that hasn't stopped everybody from, maybe made them get up dancing in the Mad Greek seventh inning stretch. This one in for strike two called. 1-2. A big rooting contingent on both sides tonight. This one popped up down the first base foul territory, and it's caught by the first baseman Panks for one away. Will Edwards flies out to the first baseman, and that'll bring to the plate Garen Plummer, the Millers' first baseman here in the first inning. Sorry, the first baseman in the seventh inning. Garen Plummer tonight is grounded out to short. Singled and flied out to right. Out of town, Lethbridge an 11-4 lead at Fort McMurray. They are in the eighth inning. Ball one on Garen Plummer. Brooks Bombers a 7-2 lead over Sylvan Lake. Brooks looking for just their second win of the season. Fastball fouled back and out of play, 1-1. Weyburn Beavers a 2-0 lead at Regina in the bottom of the ninth inning. Okotoks a 6-5 lead over Swift Current. They're in the seventh in Okotoks. This one fouled back, exact same spot, 1-2 the count on Garen Plummer. And Energy City out to a 6-3 lead at Medicine Hat. They are in the sixth at Athletic Park in Medicine Hat. 1-2 the count here on Garen Plummer. This one low and away for ball two, 2-2. This one outside for ball three, 3-2. Reed Beck wears number 26 for the Saskatoon Berries. 5'10", 170 out of Meadow Lake Sask. The payoff pitch swung on and tipped foul by William Edwards. He stays alive. Or sorry, by Garen Plummer. He stays alive. Jimmy Kurtz is on deck. Ball four on Garen Plummer. The left fielder, Jimmy Kurtz, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw in the bottom of the seventh inning. The tying run now is at first. The go-ahead run is at the plate. This is the tightest Millers game we've seen here at Roswell's Park since the home opener against the Regina Red Sox, as Joe Carnahan, the Berries skipper, comes out for a mound visit. We'll pause for a second here. Be right back on FloCollege with the Berries leading 5-4. All right, back at it at Roswell's Park. Pitching change officially for the Berries. Clay Mixon has come into the game. Wears number 44 out of Baytown, Texas. Clay Mixon comes on in the 7th with the Berries leading 5-4, and the Millers with a runner at first and one out here in the 7th. First pitch swinging in the air to left field. Back to make the catch is the left fielder Stinson for 2 away. Jimmy Kurtz flies out to the left fielder. Reed Beck pitched 1 1/3, allowed no hits, no runs, and struck out 1. Making way for Clay Mixon here, who has pitched 4 2/3 innings this season, a 5.79 ERA. Jacob Mraz at the plate here for Moose Jaw. First pitch outside for ball 1, 1-0. Clay Mixon from Baytown, Texas, plays at Houston Christian University. Strike 1 called, 1-1. Two and 1 the count here on Jacob Mraz, the right fielder. It's his 4th at bat. Tonight he has singled, grounded out to the pitcher, and struck out. This one is low and inside for ball 3, 3-1. Tying runners at first. That's Garen Plummer. Jacob Mraz is at the plate. Gary Swan is on deck. Jacob Mraz draws the walk, and the Millers have 2 on now. And Gary Swan, the catcher, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw. Well, the Millers have shown the ability this season to manufacture runs in a hurry. That's what they're going to need to do here to pull this one out tonight. 2 out, 2 on in the bottom of the 7th. And Gary Swan, the catcher, at the plate here with the Berries up 5-4. And the first pitch is in for strike 1, called 0-1. Gary knew he should have taken a rip. Mixon steps off. And here's a grounder that gets past the first baseman. It'll score a run. And we got a tie ball game here, and the Millers aren't done yet. Gary Swan credited with the Millers' 7th hit of the game, goes into the books as a single. It scores Garen Plummer, and we got a tie ball game here in the 7th inning as Michael Rago, the third baseman, comes to the plate. And the Millers have runners on the corners. Jacob Mraz at third, Gary Swan at first. And Michael Rago, the number 8 hitter, comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw in a tie ball game. And the first pitch caught the outside edge for strike 1, called 0-1. Clay Mixon on the plate, on the mound, the 4th pitcher used by the Berries tonight. Outside with this one, 1-2. Check that, 1-1. This one inside at the letters. 2-1 the count here on Michael Rago. The third baseman tonight is struck out, flied out to left, flied out to the first baseman. 0 for 3 at the plate is Rago, so he's due. The 2-1. Swung on and fouled back for a 2-2 count. Michael Rego from Bensonville, Illinois. Here's the 2-2 from Clay Mixon. Hit well into right center field, and that'll score a run. And the Millers go up 6-5. A run-scoring single by Michael Rego plates Jacob Mraz, and the Millers lead 6-5 with Ben Wallachek coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Michael Rego with a line drive single center field. Bringing up to the plate, number 13, Ben Wallachek.
Gary Swans at third. Michael Rego to second. And Wallachek's in a good spot here. What we say about the Millers with the ability to blow it open. This is hit in the air to left field, but not that deep. Tracking over toward the third base line to make the catch is Stinson, and that'll retire the side. But not before the Millers put 2 on the board, and we'll go to the 8th with Moose Jaw leading 6-5. And due up for the visiting Saskatoon Berries, Laird, Marion, and Nichols. You're watching Friday Night WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Top of the 8th inning at historic Ross Wells Park in Moose Jaw. Miller's now leading 6-5, and the batting order for the Berries, the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Brock Laird, Aiden, Marion, and Nash Nichols. The Millers have battled back to take the lead here 6-5. Jacob Keelays has come in a relief role for Moose Jaw, and he got them out of a bases-loaded bind to end the 7th inning. Keelays out of Wallkill, New York. First pitch is in for ball 1, 1-0. Brock Laird, the shortstop, at the plate here for Saskatoon. And this one is outside for ball 2, 2-0. Brock Laird from Natchitoches, Louisiana, laces this one into right center field, and he's around to second with a double. Brock Laird, a lead-off double for Saskatoon, and all of a sudden, Saskatoon has a runner in scoring position here with a lead-off double, and Aiden Marion, the catcher, comes to the plate here for the visitors. Feels like we are in for a very exciting ending here in Moose Jaw tonight. In the second meeting of the year between these division rivals. They met back June 4th at Next Gen Patch in Saskatoon, with the Berries winning it 7-4. First pitch from Keelays is outside for ball 1, 1-0. Swing and a miss from Marion, 1-1. Marion is 0 for 3 at the plate tonight. Grounded out to short, flied out to right, and struck out. Here's the 1-1 from Keelays. And that's outside for ball 2, 2-1. Miller's Baseball brought to you in part by Stringham Law, Hawks Agro, and Molson Breweries. The 2-1 now. And that drops in there. Curveball for strike 2, 2-2. This one fouled off by Marion. Stays alive at 2-2. Nash Nichols, the center fielder, is on deck. He homered back in the 7th inning to give the Berries a 5-4 lead at the time. They now trail 6-5. Nash Nichols on deck. Aiden Marion at the plate right now, the catcher. And swung on, and down he goes for one away. The number 9 hitter, center fielder Nash Nichols, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon from Waxahachie, Texas. 6-5. The Millers lead now. At second is Brock Laird. Swing and a miss from Nichols, 0-1. Lays down the bunt and unable to stretch out for it is the catcher Gary Swan, but a valiant effort by the catcher. Strike 2 on Nash Nichols. There's a swan dive. Thank you, Jenna. Kip Ransom, watching in Lincoln, Nebraska, says these are dad jokes. I don't think so. I think dad jokes aren't funny. Mine are original and hilarious. Strike 3 call, and down goes Nash Nichols for 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we'll go to the top of the order. The designated hitter, Nathan Houston, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. 2 out now. The tying run is at second. Nathan Houston tonight has singled, flied out to right, and struck out twice. Keelay's delivery is outside for a ball 1-0. You love this Miller's gear, black and yellow. You can get it at the Ultimate Fan Zone. Big baseball shop. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone, your authentic MLB fan store for official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Game day every day at UFZ. Keelay's delivery. This one's popped up high down the first base line. And there, oh, it's dropped by the first baseman, Garen Plummer. You hope that doesn't come back to cost the Millers here. 1-1 the count now on Nathan Houston. Old goalie. Swung on and fouled straight back by Nathan. 1-2. outside for ball 2, 2-2. Houston was looking and leaning. Made the wise call. 2-2 the count on the designated hitter. This one fouled back. Houston stays alive. Nick Stinson is on deck here for the Berries. 6-5 Millers lead, top of the 8th. High for ball 3, 3-2 on Nathan. Brock Laird's at second base here for Saskatoon. 2 out. And the full count pitch coming here from Jacob Keelays. Swung on, and down he goes. We will go to the bottom of the 8th with the Millers leading 6-5. Due up for Moose Jaw, Soto, Franks, and Edwards. You're watching WCBL Baseball on FloCollege.
Leading off for your Moose Jaw Miller Express in the bottom of the 8th inning, number 22, Thomas Soto.
Bottom of the 8th in Moose Jaw, Millers protecting a 6-5 lead, and Thomas Soto will lead it off here for the black and yellow. Soto, Franks, and Edwards due up for Moose Jaw. Clay Mixon is on the mound in a relief role here for the Berries, trying to get them in position to battle back and win. 1-1 the count here on Thomas Soto, the switch hitting shortstop. He has struck out twice tonight and singled twice and scored 2 runs. This one high and outside for ball 2. 2-1 on Soto. Millers back home Saturday night, doubleheader against the Weyburn Beavers. First pitch 6:05 here on FloCollege. Berries will be home to the Regina Red Sox. 3-1 the count here on Soto. Outside, and Thomas Soto draws the leadoff walk here in the 8th. And Chris Franks comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw as Dustin Mollican comes out for a word for his relief pitcher, the pitching coach for the Berries. And we'll pause a minute. 6-5 Millers in the 8th on FloCollege.
MLB Fan Store for official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Aim day, every day at UFC.
All right, Thomas Soto draws a leadoff walk, and the number 2 hitter, Chris Franks, comes to the plate for the Millers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch is inside for ball 1 as Franks showed a bunt. 1-0 the count here. Millers looking to improve their record to 6-4 and cut the Berries division lead down to 2 games. Away goes Soto. Uncontested stolen base for Thomas. And with none out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Millers now have a runner on second, and the count is 1-1 on Chris Franks. Will Edwards on deck for Moose Jaw. And Franks lays down a bunt, but it rolls foul down the third base line. 1-2. Franks lays down this bunt, and Mixon guns him down at first for 1 away. Franks grounds out to the pitcher, and Will Edwards will come to the plate here for Moose Jaw with Garen Plummer on deck. It did advance Thomas Soto to third. So the insurance run is 90 feet away here as Will Edwards stares down Mixon in the bottom of the 8th, and the first pitch is in for strike 1, called 0-1. Will Edwards DHing tonight. He has struck out, flied out to second, walked, and flied out to the first baseman. And this one is wild. It'll score a run. In comes Thomas Soto, and the Millers go up 7-5 in the 8th. This one fouled back and out of play behind the Berries dugout, not playable. 1-1 the count here on Will Edwards. Bases cleared now, and 1 away. Swing and a miss from Edwards, and down he goes for 2 away. Garen Plummer comes to the plate here for Moose Jaw, the first baseman. Now 2 out, and the base is empty in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Millers have added to their lead now. 7-5 they lead in the 8th. Garen Plummer playing in the field at first tonight. He is grounded out to short. Oh, here's a liner towards short, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the 9th now with Moose Jaw leading 7-5, and we'll be right back as you're watching Friday night Western Canadian Baseball League action on FloCollege.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Nathan Pichot has come on in the ninth for the Moose Jaw Miller Express, who lead at 7-5. I would suggest a very efficient 1 2/3 innings worked by Jacob Keelays, allowing 1 hit, no runs, and striking out 4, giving way for all-star returnee and local boy Nathan Pichot here in the ninth. For the visitors, the left fielder Nick Stinson will lead it off. Stinson, Ethan Murdoch, and Gavin Panks are due up for the Berries. The division leaders 3 outs away. Here, let's see what happens in the ninth as Pichot looks in. And the first pitch right down the pipe for strike 1 called. His college teammate at Bethany Lutheran College, Gary Swan, behind the plate here, catching Pichot in the ninth. Strike 2 called on Nick Stinson, the left fielder for the Berries. Tonight he is grounded out to second, singled, grounded out to the pitcher, and walked. Here's a roller to second. Wallachek sucks it up. Throw over to first for 1 away. Nick Stinson grounds out to the second baseman. Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder out of Swift Current, comes to the plate here for Saskatoon. In the ninth, Pichot looks in for the sign. Ethan Murdoch tonight's grounded out to second. Singled, struck out, and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch in for strike 1 called, 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Ethan Murdoch. The right fielder who plays at Marshall University in West Virginia. This one fouled off. Murdoch stays alive. This one tagged deep center field. Back to the wall. And making the catch is the center fielder, Chris Franks, for 2 away. Ethan Murdoch hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, but it didn't quite have the juice. And the Berries are down to their final out here, trailing 7-5 as Gavin Panks, the first baseman, comes to the plate here, facing Pichot in the ninth. Oh, that hit Panks in the right shin, and he's a hit batsman. The Berries have now a runner at first, and the tying run comes to the plate here in the form of Gail Salinas, the second baseman. So don't go anywhere, folks. We're not done just yet. Strike 1 called as Peugeot comes in with a slider. This one swung on and fouled into the Millers dugout. 0-2 the count here on the second baseman, Gael Salinas. From the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. 0-2 the count. Peugeot looks in for the sign from Gary Swan. Checks the runner at first. Here's the 0-2. Ripped on the ground to short. Soto, the underhanded toss to second, and that's the ball game. The Millers improve now to 6-4, a big 7-5 victory tonight over the Saskatoon Berries. And we'll do it again tomorrow with the Weyburn Beavers in town, a doubleheader beginning at 6:05. One more time, your final. The Millers 7, the Berries 5. For Jenna Moore, this is Rod Peterson saying good night, everybody, from Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw.